Today we're making red, white, and blue cake balls. If you're interested in learning how to make cake pops, then stick around. Cake balls and cake pops are pretty much the same thing, except one has a stick and the other doesn't. To get started, you're going to need 1 box of cake mix already made into a cake. Here I have some leftover cake from a previous project. No sense in wasting perfectly good cake. Take your cake and break it up into crumbs. Next, you'll need some frosting. Brand does not matter, choose your favorite flavor. We're going to start off with 1 spoonful of frosting. The amount of frosting you'll need will depend on how moist your cake already is. I can assure you a fully baked cake mix cake is not going to take a full can of frosting. In fact, I'd be surprised if you even use half of this can. You want enough frosting in your cake for it to still hold its shape after you've rolled it into a ball. If it crumbles, you need more frosting. If it seems too sticky or wet, then you probably added in too much frosting. Once you think you have the right consistency, grab a cookie scooper and scoop out some cake. Roll it into a ball. It should look something like this, nice and smooth. Place your cake ball on a parchment lined baking sheet and keep on going. Even if your plan is to make cake pops instead of cake balls, still continue with these steps. Once you're ready, place your cake balls in the fridge to firm up for about 30 minutes. While your cake balls are in the fridge, let's look over the chocolate and the decorations. If you're dipping candies, cookies, cake pops, or cake balls for the first time ever, I highly suggest purchasing Ghirardelli's melting candies. But if that's out of your budget, then this is a great alternative. I picked these up from Hobby Lobby. The brand is called Make and Mold. We're going with red, white, and blue since Memorial Day and the 4th of July are right around the corner. For sprinkles, I'm going with this Great Value brand variety pack from Walmart. I'm also going with these sprinkles from Hobby Lobby. We're going to start off with the blue melting candies. To a microwave safe bowl, add in your melting candies and microwave for about 1 to 2 minutes, stirring every 20 seconds or so. Okay, this chocolate is fairly thick. One of the reasons why I prefer Ghirardelli over this brand is because once melted, Ghirardelli's consistency is already perfect for dipping. You won't need to thin it out. I think this is a little chunkier than I'd like, so we're gonna thin this out with a little bit of flavorless, odorless oil. I'm using vegetable oil here. I know a lot of people prefer coconut oil. Test them out and see which one you like better. You will only need a teaspoon or 2, not a whole lot. Once you feel like your chocolate has been thinned out enough, you're ready to dip. I have these tall, thin Irish coffee mugs that are great for this project. Once your cake balls are done firming up in the fridge, insert the skewer into the flat bottom side of your cake ball. If you're planning on making cake pops, instead of a skewer, you would insert a cake pop stick at this point. Dip your cake ball into your chocolate. To get the excess chocolate off the cake ball, I like to tap the skewer on the side of my mug like so. This helps shake off the extra chocolate that would otherwise drip down your skewer or cake pop stick and onto your counter, creating a huge mess. Since your cake balls are still cold from the fridge, it won't take long for the chocolate to harden, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Keep in mind, as you're dipping your cake balls, you're also cooling down your chocolate with each dip. If you start to notice that your dips are becoming chunky, that's a sign to pop your chocolate in the microwave for 30 seconds. You won't need to thin it out, we've already done that. It just needs to be reheated. Also, if you decide you're done dipping for the day, pour your chocolate out onto some parchment paper in a nice thin layer, let it dry, then break it up into small pieces and store it in a sandwich baggie for later use. Yes, it can be remelted and used again. To let your cake balls fully set, we need a place to put them. I picked this up from Walmart in the floral department. It's a basic styrofoam block. They have all kinds of different sizes. Take the other end of your skewer and punch a hole anywhere you want to place your cake ball. I also picked these skewers up from Walmart. I think they're about 6 inches long. While those are drying, we're going to move on to the white melting candies. If you're picking these up from Hobby Lobby, make sure you get the bright white bag. They do have a regular white, but it's more of a cream color. Same thing with the white, into the microwave for 1 to 2 minutes, stirring every 20 seconds or so. This one is really chunky. Look at that. It doesn't even pour, it plops. Again, a little oil will fix this right up. As a side note, I've been asked before why I don't first dip the end of my skewer into the chocolate before I add on my cake ball to prevent the ball from sliding off the skewer mid-dip. And that's a good question. I don't do that with my cake balls because I fully intend on removing the skewer after my cake balls have set. If I did do that and then remove the skewer, the hardened chocolate would take out a ton of cake along with it. Even if I'm making cake pops and using cake pop sticks, I still don't dip the stick. I don't need to because if my cake balls are cold enough, they shouldn't move at all once they're on the stick or skewer while they're being dipped and while I'm shaking off the excess chocolate. If at any point I feel like my cake ball is starting to slide off my skewer, then that's a solid sign that my cake balls need to go back in the fridge to firm up again. And yes, that does happen from time to time. Sometimes life pulls me away from my projects just long enough for my cake balls to become too soft to dip. That's life. The point is, you don't need to add chocolate to your stick before you add on your cake ball. All you need to do is make sure you're working with a cold, firm cake ball. It's time to decorate. For the red cake pop, I'm keeping it super simple. As soon as you're done shaking off the excess chocolate, grab your sprinkles and start sprinkling. As you can see here, I wasn't fast enough. This little section here dried so fast, now I have a bald spot. It's okay, it still looks good, and I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna notice but us. To remove your cake ball from the skewer, once your chocolate has fully set, don't be shy, grab a hold of your cake ball and skewer and gently twist in the opposite directions. Your skewer should pop right out. For the white cake balls, I'm going with a simple red drizzle. I'm going with a piping bag here. A sandwich baggie will also work. I would suggest practicing on some parchment first just to make sure you're happy with the thickness of your drizzle line. While the drizzle is still wet, add on your sprinkles. I went with this chunky blue and then I filled in the rest with these tiny sprinkles from Hobby Lobby. To decorate the blue cake balls, I first started with the white melting chocolate. I went with a thicker drizzle line. And once the white was dry, I went over it again with the red at a slightly different angle. I only used the tiny sprinkles for the blue set. Once your cake balls have fully set, the only thing left to do is to decide how you want to display them. I'm using these candy liners. They came in a set of 6 different colors, super cute and the perfect size. I'll put a link to these down in the description box below. And there you have it, a ton of festive, beautifully decorated cake balls. Just so you know, these are not all the cake balls we made today. This is just what I could fit on the plate. There are a ton behind me. You can store these in the fridge or on the counter, it doesn't matter. I would cover them with plastic wrap though, if you're planning on leaving them out on the counter overnight. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out, and I'll see you all in the next video.